Here is how to form the pluperfect subjunctive. So you'll start with your 4 principal parts, and then you'll go to the third one, the third principal part, and you will chop off the I, and then you'll add ISSE, and then you'll add on the endings MST, mus, tis, unt. So those will be your pluperfects. You'll still translate it as had blanked, as you do with the pluperfect indicative or normal forms. The pluperfect subjunctive will just contain ISSE, and that is how you will recognize it. It may be a part of a cum clause, an indirect question, an indirect statement, a result clause, or beyond, but just so that you know how to form the pluperfect subjunctive so that you can see it, make sure you're looking out for ISSE inside of your verb. Now, how to form the imperfect subjunctive. So usually when you're making the imperfect indicative, the normal forms, the ones that have ba in them, you chop off the RE of the infinitive and you have, for example, portabam, I was carrying, portabas, you were carrying, portabat, he was carrying. So you're used to chopping off the RE and adding on your normal endings of bam, bas, bat, bamas, batis, bant. But instead, for the imperfect subjunctive form, we are going to keep the RE of the infinitive and add the endings directly to the infinitive. So you'll go to the second principal part and you will add on MST, mus, tis, int, depending on who is doing the action. So to recognize the imperfect subjunctive, you need to look for the re inside of the word that you're used to chopping off when you make the normal indicative forms. So examples that we might have, we have portaret, doceret, traheret, audiret. So notice how the re of the infinitive form is like contained within the entire word. So recognizing the imperfect tense of the subjunctive will have to do with noticing the infinitives inside. And remember that recognizing the pluperfect tense will have to do with having ISSE inside. So isse for pluperfect, had blanked, re for imperfect, and you'll still translate the imperfect subjunctive was or were blanking. Even though it doesn't have the imperfect ba, sheep, you will still translate it as was or were doing. So the subjunctives will be translated in the same way that the indicatives are translated. They will just signal to us that some advanced grammar things are happening, which we will discuss in the future. All right, my next examples will be of cum clauses that are on page 60 of the Cambridge Latin course, if you would like to follow along. We have, when Modestus had arrived at the bridge, the horse did not want to cross. So the when Modestus had arrived at the bridge part is the cum clause. The word cum means when in Latin in this case. So from when Modestus had arrived at the bridge is our sort of when part. It gives us the circumstances, the time that the rest of the sentence is going on. So the horse did not want to cross is a full sentence. So you don't need the cum clause, for example. It just adds more to tell us when something was happening. So whenever you see both the word cum and also a subjunctive verb, you'll know to translate it as when instead of with. The next example, when the slaves had prepared everything, the merchant led his friends into the dining room. So when the slaves had prepared everything is the cum clause because it tells us when, or gives us the circumstances.